Here are 9 habits of people who have never been broke and who will never be broke. For those people, and I am one of them, I have never been broke. And when you either learn them at a young age or you repeat those habits over a long enough time, they will become so normal, so natural that it prevents you from ever having money problems regardless of your income. So let's take a look at these 9 habits so you can start implementing them into your life. If you're new here, I'm Sophia. I'm a doctor from Germany, currently filming for you from Rome. And I just love to talk about money and money habits. People who are never broke know what they can afford. They know what is within their budget. And if they don't have the money to buy something, they don't buy it. Instead, they ask, how can I afford this? And they work towards it. Let's say, for example, someone wants to buy a new kitchen or a new sofa. They save up the money until they have enough to buy it, and then they go out and buy it. And as a result, and that is number 2, they don't have bad debt. They don't go into credit card debt or any other types of consumer loans. And even if they do have debt, like a car loan or a student loan, they pay it back as fast as possible, even if that means major sacrifices in their lifestyle for a certain period of time. What's no sacrifice at all, in case you've enjoyed this video so far, is giving it a like while I have a sip of water real quick. Thank you. People who are never broke also have a rough overview over their income and expenses. Otherwise, this would not work. You have to know how much money you have at your disposal and also how much money you need, at least roughly, for your monthly bills. So they track their income and expenses. By the way, I do that as well. I've started 10 years ago. It was one of the first things I did in my financial journey. I've built my own money tracker in Excel that I've used over the years. There is a link down below if you also want to have it. It's completely for free. People who are never broke make a very clear distinction between needs and wants. They understand that needs are the absolute necessary thing to live, and that wants are things that you enjoy having or enjoy doing, but wants are whether a choice you're making if you spend money on that or not. And usually what counts as needs are shelter, food, clothing and transportation. But I'd say it's not that simple, because shelter can mean to have a roof over your head. A 1 or 2 or 3 bedroom might be what you need, but a 150 square meter penthouse apartment in New York, also counts as shelter. But that's rather what you want instead of what you need, if you know what I mean. For food, this can be the distinction between buying groceries and cooking at home or going out each day of the week. People who are never broke are also prepared. That means they always have cash on the side to be able to pay for expenses they didn't expect, because they know sometimes something might just happen that you have to pay for. And by having money for those situations on the side, they don't need to stress unnecessarily about situations like that. So have an emergency fund. People who are never broke also save money. And this has several components. So they know how to save, and either they're doing it by just living below their means, and then they naturally have something left at the end of the month. I talked to someone recently where I'm actually not sure if this person has, this very detailed, systematic savings plan like I have and teach on this channel. Subscribe if you like and if you're interested. But this person's income just exceeded their expenses regularly, so they just had money left over at the end of each month. That's not what I recommend doing though. I recommend to pay yourself first, which means to save right after you've received your income before you pay everybody else, because this version is more effective, it's more reliable, and I think it also has the better outcome when it comes to building wealth. But the other one still works for people. And that is another thing. People who are never broke, they see money as something that gives them security. They see it as something positive that allows them to live a stress-free life and to not just cover their absolutely essential needs, but also everything else they need in their life. And often this might not be that much. Much is always relative. I did call this video Habits of People Who Are Never Broke on purpose, because this is not about the habits or the viewpoints of millionaires. That again will be different, because it's a different, group of people. But I mean this huge mass of people in the middle who just have a very financially stable life. They don't spend more than they need, and also maybe don't want the sacrifices that come with becoming a millionaire fast. And people who are never broke also see money as something they have to take care of themselves. So they recognize the important role that money plays in their life and act accordingly. And I can imagine that broke people rather see money as something that is never there, and they have to keep working continuously to get it, maybe even in a job they don't like. By the way, I also write about money habits and investment strategies and all those tips and tricks around personal finances in my weekly newsletter. If you want to sign up, there's a link in the video description. It's completely for free, you can cancel anytime. And the people who are never broke have the same taking care of it mentality when it comes to retirement, because they know there's gonna come a time where they don't have an income anymore, and they invest for retirement so they can keep their comfortable lifestyle at that time as well. So I'm not talking about saving and investing 70 to 80% of your income each month here with a super duper planned out aggressive investment strategy. I'm talking about using individual retirement accounts to use the tax benefits on those accounts, using employer match programs, stuff like that. I remember when I read Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, he had an example of someone who read his book and followed his advice and got health insurance, which he didn't have before. And then shortly after, this man was diagnosed with, I think it was a brain tumor, and the insurance covered all the costs of that. He was never able to work again, I think. And people who are never broke understand that certain situations can risk their financial stability. And that's why they have insurance for the most important things. I think in general this will be categories like health, home and car. The ones I also mention in this context is liability and disability. But this differs from country to country, so do a little bit of research of who pays in which of those scenarios in your country. Now that you know the tips and basics that prevent you from becoming broke, you are ready for the financial habits that bring you from good with money to great with money. If you're still here, thank you for watching this far. I hope you got some value out of it. Take good care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.